fortunate for me. Perhaps nothing so tends to prolong an attack as the accusing eye of someone who has never had a headache. Why not take a couple of aspirin, the unafflicted say, from the doorway, or I'd have a headache too spending a beautiful day like this inside with all the shades down. All of us who have migraines suffer not only from the attacks themselves, but from this common conviction that we are perversely refusing to cure ourselves by taking a couple of aspirin, that we're making ourselves sick, that we bring it on ourselves. And in the most immediate sense, the sense of why we have a headache this Tuesday and not last Thursday, of course, we often do. There certainly is what doctors call a, quote, migraine personality, and that personality tends to be ambitious, inward, intolerant of error, rather rigidly organized perfectionists. You don't look like a migraine personality, a doctor once said to me. Your hair's messy. But I suppose you're a compulsive housekeeper. Actually, my house is kept even more negligently than my hair, but the doctor was right nonetheless. Perfectionism can also take the form of spending most of a week writing and rewriting and not writing a single paragraph. But not all perfectionists have migraine, and not all migraneous people have migraine personalities. We do not escape heredity. I've tried in most of the available ways to escape my own migraneous heredity. At one point, I learned to give myself 2 daily injections of histamine with a hypodermic needle, even though the needle so frightened me that I had to close my eyes when I did it. But I still have migraine. And I've learned now to live with it, learned when to accept it, how to outwit it, and even how to regard it, when it does come, as more friend than lodger. We have reached a certain understanding, my migraine and I. It never comes when I'm in real trouble. Tell me that my house is burned down, my husband has left me, that there's gunfighting in the streets and panic in the banks, and I will not respond by getting a headache. It comes instead when I am fighting not an open but guerrilla war with my own life, during weeks of small household confusions, lost laundry, unhappy help, canceled appointments, on days when the telephone rings too much and I get no work done and the wind is coming up. On days like that, my friend comes uninvited. And once it comes, now that I am wise in its ways, I no longer fight it. I lie down and let it happen. At first, every small apprehension is magnified. Every anxiety is a pounding terror. Then the pain comes, and I concentrate only on that. Right there is the usefulness of migraine. There, in that imposed yoga, the concentration of the pain. For when the pain recedes, 10 or 12 hours later, everything goes with it. All the hidden resentments, all the vain anxieties. The migraine has acted as a circuit breaker, and the fuses have emerged intact. There is a pleasant, convalescent euphoria. I open the windows and feel the air, eat gratefully, sleep well. I notice the particular nature of a flower in a glass on the stair landing. I count my blessings. 1968, in the White Album, 1990, Noonday Press.
It's open. Okay. Oh, okay. So that was the text by Joan Didion, and this started a conversation about our collective experiences about migraines, and I think like really it's kind of like an offhand comment. I said to Agustina and Christina one day, I said, oh, we should do a work together like as a collective. And it kind of stuck as an idea. So yeah, and it's really interesting because we've all learned a lot, and there's a lot of support for each other, and it's been a really interesting kind of experience. But TangentProjects has this reading room project every year, and so this year we kind of did this collective work which is about migraines, kind of based on, I mean, it also opens up a bigger field about the unequal care for women in health, and this kind of it's a big conversation to have. So we started with what we know, which is about migraines, and for Christina and Agustina, there's been a lot of care within the kind of medical system. So there's like hospital visits and doctor visits and all this kind of stuff, and they have chronic pain migraines, whereas I have what is known as ocular migraines or aura migraines, which is based on losing my vision a lot more.
Yeah.
So I have weird, not hallucinations, but I get weird visuals. I mean, I feel weirdly lucky in a way. I mean, it's quite frightening. When it first started happening, it was quite frightening, but I actually feel quite lucky because I used to have pain migraines, and I know that pain, and that is a horrific, awful experience. So in some ways, I kind of feel quite lucky that I don't experience that anymore. Or sometimes I do, but not as much. It is. It's awful. But we wanted to make a work that kind of was a kind of a space. So it became an installation where Christina was talking about the kind of, I think that the general regard for migraines of it just being like a headache. Oh, it's just a headache. Like, make sure you're hydrated, drink some water, like take some aspirin, like this, yeah, and it doesn't help. So she did a work that was actually a video work that was a discussion of her on Reddit searching for advice, and she was actually experiencing migraine that had been going on for weeks at that point. She was in a residency and had to leave because it just wasn't going away, and she was on a medication that really badly affected her, and she was told that she couldn't come off, or the advice was that she couldn't just come off it. So she had to kind of go through this. Anyway, so while she was going through that experience, she was creating this work, and Agostina created this text-based work, which we can we can listen to it. This is like this is about I'm not sure if this is the one that's about the right. I think we can listen to both because I think it's really interesting. So Agostina created some 2D text work, which is embossed on paper. She reproduced parts of Joan Didion's text, but she crushed a particular medication, and that became the kind of ink for it. And so this is a medication that actually is not legal in Spain. She used to take it in Argentina, and you can get it in Argentina. But this poet has written a book based all about this medication because the instant relief, but it actually has a long-term effect that can actually bring on migraines in the future. So there's this balance of like the immediate relief, but knowing that it can also, but he references the taste of it and everything because it's this sensation that you get of like immediate. Yeah, but knowing that it's probably not good to keep taking it. Yeah. I'm not sure if this is the poem or about him. So.
Un dolorcito suave empezó temprano después del desayuno.
Yeah.
Con él anduve toda la mañana sin problemas. En un momento me olvidé que me dolía. El dolor de cabeza vuelve cuando me acuerdo que me duele la cabeza. Eso es un dolor leve. Dolor no es nada, es solo una palabra. Y de acuerdo a las leyes de la permutación, dolor solo es olor más de. Después vino un siestín agradable que me mantuvo suspendido en el aire durante más de 1 hora y media con el olor más de como colchón de mi dormir. A la tarde comimos un delicioso La Habana frío de un frasco que había en la heladera y al terminar esta actividad el dolor volvió con más ganas que antes, por lo que tuve que clavarme una pastilla anaranjada que mi señora me propuso como solución. Revolvió en la caja de los remedios hasta que encontró una y me la presentó brillante en la palma de su mano. El solo verla me desactivó el pensar en el dolor y quedó relegado unos instantes, en suspenso, sin existencia. Quedó postergado por otros pensamientos. Por lo que pienso que mi mente no es multitareas. Si miro un cuervo volar de una palmera a otra, en ese momento no me duele la cabeza. La cabeza me duele antes de ver volar el cuervo y después de ver volar el cuervo. El dolor de cabeza me duele en la mente, en el lugar del pensar. A la noche el dolor se intensificó, y más después de coger. El traqueteo y movimiento del cuerpo enloqueció el dolor de cabeza que rebotaba contra las paredes del cráneo. Y después de acabar, quedó pulsando furioso, hasta que se fue calmando y quedó latiendo fijo y punzante. Con esa idea de dolor me dormí. Pero al rato, el dolor me despertó y decidí recurrir a lo que vine evitando todo el día, el migral. Revuelvo en la caja de medicamentos hasta que encuentro la mágica pastilla roja. El solo verla redonda y de un rojo fuerte y seco me calma y me alivia el dolor. Paladeo el dulzor colorado que tanto conozco, me la trago y me vuelvo a acostar. Ahora mi dolor de cabeza lucha contra el dolor. El latido va mutando, se achica, se aleja, reaparece, desaparece, vuelve, se reduce, a un punto dentro de la mente. Ahora es hielo que se derrite. Solo quedan pedazos sueltos y rotos que van cayendo al vacío, a la bolsa del olvido, donde están, entre otras cosas, todos los ex dolores de cabeza. Tenía 52 años, estaba soltero, tenía mi casa con libros, patio y amigos. Pensaba si seguir así, continuar envejeciendo de esa manera, o dejar esta vida y empezar todo de cero. Vivir una segunda vida, vivir la vida de nuevo. Decidí esto último. En el año 2015 conocí a Nina Castillo en una página de citas. Después de una relación virtual de 7 meses, decidí ir a visitarla a Filipinas, donde finalmente me quedé a vivir durante 4 años. Formamos una familia, nos casamos y tuvimos 2 hijos. Vivíamos en Daekan Beach, una playa paradisíaca con un mar turquesa y una playa de arena color manteca. Vivíamos en una casa de bambú con una terraza que daba al mar, que empezaba a los 40 metros. Ahí todas las tardes, entre 2016 y 2018, escribí en un cuaderno, lentamente, todos los fragmentos que componen este libro. En 2018 decidimos venir a Argentina con toda la familia, donde vivimos hasta la actualidad.
How do you find something in the ocean?